The people you will find in court and what they do. The bailiff. The bailiff is someone you will see in or around the courtroom. The job of the bailiff is to keep order in the court. If someone is rowdy or unruly, the bailiff might escort that person out of court. In some courts, the bailiff may be a law enforcement officer. The law enforcement officer. The job of the law enforcement officer is to keep court staff and the public safe. It is the role of the law enforcement officer to make sure people in court follow courthouse rules. Some courthouses use law enforcement officers to run security checkpoints at the courthouse. When you arrive at court, you may need to pass through a security station or checkpoint. The clerk. There are different kinds of clerks. The clerk of court is the official who keeps the court records. The clerk of court also is the official with whom you file court papers. The clerk of court usually has an office in the courthouse and is in charge of filing and issuing papers not tied to court cases, like land records, mortgages, marriage licenses, and passports. Larger courts may have many deputy or assistant clerks. Some smaller courts may have a single clerk of court with few or no other staff people. Individual judges may have their own court clerks. The clerk who works in the judge's office helps keep that judge's paperwork and schedule in order. A particular court or judge may have a minute clerk who keeps track of documents and things for the judge or the court. This minute clerk may work for the judge or the clerk of court. It is important to know what kind of clerk you need to go to. If you are unsure, ask a staff person at the courthouse. The plaintiff. The plaintiff is someone you see in a civil case. The plaintiff is sometimes called a petitioner. The plaintiff is the person or entity who starts a case by filing court papers. In other words, the plaintiff is the one who brings the lawsuit. Filing court papers, called a petition, is a typical way a plaintiff starts a court case. The defendant. The defendant is the one who opposes a claim from the state or from the party who filed the petition. A defendant can be someone in a criminal case. In a criminal case, the defendant is the person prosecuted for a crime. A defendant can also be someone in a civil case. In a civil case, the defendant is the person or party sued. The defense attorney. The defense attorney is the lawyer who represents the defendant. The defense attorney is someone you may see in a criminal case. The defense attorney's job is to defend the person prosecuted for a crime. The defense attorney may try to show that the government does not have enough proof or the right kind of proof that a crime happened. The defense attorney may try to show that the government does not have enough proof or the right kind of proof that the defendant was the one who committed the crime. The defense attorney might try to show that the law does not allow the government to convict the defendant. The defense attorney might offer other evidence or arguments to try to defeat the government's case. You may also see a defense attorney in a civil case. In a civil case, the defense attorney's job is to defend the person who was sued. The defense attorney may try to show the plaintiff, the party who filed the lawsuit, does not have the right to bring the claim or has waited too long to present the claim. The defense attorney may also try to show that the plaintiff does not have enough evidence to prove that he or she has the right to get what he or she is asking for in the case. The judge. The judge runs the court process used to resolve a case. You will see a judge in criminal and civil cases. Some courts have more than one judge. Some courts focus on certain kinds of cases. Some cases are heard only by the judge. This kind of case is called a bench trial. In this kind of case, the judge hears and sees the evidence, applies the law, and decides the case. Sometimes, a case uses a judge and a jury. This kind of case is a jury trial. The jury finds the facts of the case and makes a decision based on instructions from the judge about how to apply the facts to the law. In cases with a jury trial, judges sometimes hear part of a case or arguments on issues related to the case, like motions. The jury. A jury can hear a criminal or a civil case. Even if a case is tried to a jury, there is a judge to oversee the case. The jury hears the evidence. The jury also hears instructions from the judge about the law. The jury weighs the evidence, applies it to the information about the law given by the judge, and decides the case. The law clerk or research attorney. Sometimes a judge will have an attorney in the office to do legal research and other tasks. That attorney is often called a law clerk or research attorney. The prosecutor. The prosecutor is someone you see in a criminal case. The job of the prosecutor is to represent the government in its criminal case against someone. The job of the prosecutor is to use evidence and legal arguments to prove the government's case against the defendant. The prosecutor's job is to try to prove in court that the defendant committed a crime and is responsible for that crime under the law. The prosecutor will also often present arguments on the kind of penalty that is appropriate for a particular person who committed a particular crime. The witness. A witness is a person who testifies in court after swearing an oath to tell the truth or affirming an obligation to tell the truth. People on both sides of the dispute may question the witness. The witness is required to answer questions truthfully. Witnesses can come to court voluntarily. A witness can be ordered to go to court by a subpoena. A subpoena is a court order directing the person to come to court at a particular day and time. If you want a subpoena issued to a witness, you must bring that request to the clerk of court well ahead of the court date. The stenographer. The stenographer is sometimes called the court reporter or a transcriber. The stenographer takes down everything said at a hearing or trial. The job of the stenographer is to record what happens in court. That includes taking down what everyone says in the court case. It is important to speak up and to speak clearly in court so that the stenographer can hear and take down everything you say. Thank you for watching. This is a presentation sponsored by the Self-Represented Litigant Committee of the Louisiana District Judges Association. Find more resources on www.ldja.org.